The gym can be a very intimidating place, and I don't know about you, but I get very embarrassed very easily. So I wanted to put together 8 of my top fitness gym mistakes that your girl has made. Maybe you can learn a thing or two, save yourself from embarrassment. I don't know, some people, they just don't get embarrassed, and I wish I was that type of gal, but I'm not. So I put together a list of very common gym mistakes that a lot of beginners, and even sometimes myself who's been going to the gym for a few years now, still makes. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and never forget to subscribe so you never miss a fit tip with Wit again. It's a very beautiful day to be alive. I'm so excited about this video. I love videos like this, so definitely let me know if you like this video, if you want to see more. I have some other ideas in mind. I also have some more gym mistakes. I mean, the gym mistakes can go on and on and on and on and on and on. So definitely let me know if you want to see more, but without further ado, let's jump into this video. The barbell. The barbell section, very, very intimidating. It took me a long time to conquer that fear of mine. I know a lot of beginners are pretty intimidated by the barbell section, and I totally get it. So I want to put these mistakes out there that you can make, I've made, and I did some very dramatic reenactments of what can happen if you make these mistakes. Okay, so there's quite a few mistakes that you can make on the barbell, unfortunately. Something that has happened to me too many times to count is when I finish a squat or I finish a shoulder press. Anytime I am done using the barbell, it is so important that you look both directions to make sure that you have the bar on the rack so that when you let go, the barbell's not gonna fall to the floor. Listen, it's happened. When you get the barbell on one side of the rack and you miss the other side, that weight will just tip you right over, girl. So, gym mistake number 1 to avoid is when you are loading the barbell back onto the squat rack. Make sure that you look left, you look right, and you still lower the bar very slowly so that you avoid any embarrassing barbell tip over mistakes, okay? Another mistake that I've made, and it's very common, I actually see a lot of people make it at the gym still, is not ensuring that you have equal weight on both sides of the barbell. And the reason why that is so important is if one side has more weight, it's very hard to not start doing this in whatever you're doing, whether that's a squat or a deadlift, a hip thrust. If the weight is too heavy on one side, very common knowledge, it will start shifting. And you would think that this is so common sense. You know, you're like, yeah, Whitney, no duh. But when you're first starting out on a barbell, you're just like, okay, I want to squat 25 pounds. So I'll put 10 on one side, 15 on the other. Well, just that 5-pound difference is going to start shifting ya, and it's not a pretty sight, because sometimes if the weight's too off, I mean, there's just no stopping you, you know? You're tumbling down. I actually did this last year and it was very embarrassing. I loaded the barbell on the floor and I went to pull it up, and I mean, your girl just took a tumble because the weight was not even, and I immediately shifted straight to the floor, and it was just like, there was no saving me, okay? And everyone saw. When you drop weight, you know, it's very loud and very scary, so I was embarrassed. I unracked that weight very quickly and walked away. This can often happen when you have 2 people loading the weight up as well. Sometimes you got your headphones in, you blast the music, you're not listening to one another, you just load up the weight, you do it incorrectly, and you take a tumble. Now, the third mistake that you can make on the barbell, going along with the shifting of the weight, it is very common that I see people not using clips at the end of a barbell. And the reason why clips are so dang important is because if something does happen and the barbell shifts a little bit, that weight can easily slide off the barbell, and then it's a disaster. And I see this for so many barbell movements, whether somebody's just doing bent over rows, deadlifts, squats, hip thrusts, anything on the barbell. If you're not using clips, especially if you're dropping the weight on the floor or you're doing quick movements, that weight slowly starts shifting and it might fall off. So make sure you are using clips. I have some on my Amazon favorites page that will be linked in the description box below, but most gyms will have clips. My gym has a big red bucket of clips, which is very convenient. Last very common mistake that you can make on a barbell is unloading the weight equally. If you are taking weight off of the left side, you need to take that same weight off of the right side. If you take all of the weight off of one side of a barbell and you have a heck of a lot of weight on one side, I'm talking 3 to 4 plates. I've noticed I can usually leave 2 45s on one side and take the other side off and it won't tip. But if you're not careful, girl, okay, it's very dangerous because the bar will just whoosh, it can whip you in the face. If you don't have clips on, the weight's flying everywhere, the barbell's flying everywhere, you're not only endangering yourself, but also others. So just to be safe, make sure that you are unloading the weight very equally when the barbell is placed on the squat rack. It's obviously very different when the weight is on the floor. If I'm doing hip thrusts, I'll unload one side because it's not gonna tip over. If you were doing a chest press, you're on a squat rack, anything that you are adding weights to the side of a barbell and it's not sitting on the floor, make sure that you unload the weight very evenly. You take a 45 off the left side, go back and take it off the right side, then go back to the left side, and then go back to the right side. Let's move on to a mistake that I still make all the time, and I'm very embarrassed that I still do this. Because sometimes you just forget. This is probably the most common mistake that I make in the gym. I love the cable machine. I can get a complete full body workout on the cable machine, but if you're not careful, you know, the cable machine, it will betray you. Something that I had to learn the hard way is to be sure that you adjust your weight before attaching a heavy cable attachment onto the cable machine. And I'm talking more like lat pull down bars. Sometimes I've even found that if I have a heavier straight bar attachment, that can pull the weight as well. A lot of the attachments are not heavy enough to do this, like the rope or just a handle. So any of those heavier attachments, be sure to adjust your weight prior to attaching them, because if you don't, girl, the cable just flies down. I've been hit in the head before by a cable attachment. I'm gonna be honest, nothing scarier than when a cable attachment of 10 pounds just goes flying across the cable area. Now, along with this, if you already have the cable attachment attached, either hold it up or have somebody hold it while you adjust your weight, because just popping the little pin out to adjust your weight is enough for it to just, it goes flying. Another mistake that I used to make a ton on the cable machine is getting my hair caught in the cable machine. I'm showing you guys here an overhead tricep extension. I have had the cable machine eat my hair. It takes it, it rips it from me, it steals it, and it destroys it, because I either leave my hair in a super high ponytail where it can get caught very easily. And for this, I suggest lowering your hair to either a low pony, even pulling it down for just the one quick 3 sets of an exercise. Just be very aware that it's very easily to get your long, luscious locks caught in the cable machine, and it's not a pretty sight. It's not okay. This is a funny one that I had to learn the hard way. I don't know. I have friends in my life that they have absolutely zero cares in the world if their leggings are squat proof. I am not that type of gal. If it is leg day and my leggings are see-through and I go to the gym and start squatting, then I go home and realize they're not squat proof, I am mortified. I don't want to go back to the gym for weeks. So a lesson that I had to learn the hard way is to make sure you squat check your leggings prior to going to the gym. I wear a ton of leggings that are more on the sheer side for upper body days when I'm not sitting there squatting and my butt's not up in the air for everyone to see. I totally think you can get away with sheer leggings on upper body day, but for leg day, girl, just don't mess around with non-squat proof leggings on leg day. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I have friends that their leggings are completely sheer and they don't care. I wish I didn't care, but I care. I care too much. If you do not want your butt crack showing, you don't want your underwear showing, you're trying to cover and protect your goods down there, then definitely make sure you do a squat test in a mirror before you head to the gym. And last but certainly not least, you guys know how passionate I am about hip thrusts. Okay, hip thrusts changed my life. One of my biggest regrets in my fitness journey is not doing hip thrusts from the first day I went to the gym. Hip thrusts can be a little bit problematic if you pick the wrong bench. Nothing is worse than when you're doing a hip thrust and the bench is just, it's just moving and you're just falling and there's just nothing you can do about it. So to avoid this, I want you to find a bench that has a heavier, sturdier base. I showed you guys a bench that my gym has that's super lightweight, and I love it because it's so easy to carry it around to wherever the heck and bob I'm going that day for my hip thrust, but it can be very problematic because it's super lightweight. So not only can it start sliding while I'm doing hip thrust, but it also can start tipping over. Now, if your gym only has the lighter benches, no worries at all. There are ways that we can solve this issue. First of all, putting the bench against a box or a wall, anywhere that it can't be moving back. Something I always like to think about while I'm doing hip thrust is thinking about an up and down motion rather than a diagonal up and back. By thinking about that up and down movement, it's going to stop you from pressing the bench back. But if you're still trying to understand hip thrust and you're still having the bench move around, definitely put it against a wall or a box, anything stable that's going to keep the bench from moving. I also at times have placed heavy weights behind the bench, like a 45-pound plate, so that the bench has a harder time moving back and forth. I don't think a lot of people think about this when they first start doing hip thrust, and then it can be very mortifying when the bench is completely tipped over, because A, it's painful as crap. B, if you start sliding everywhere, you're just like, here I am doing my hip thrust, next thing you know, I'm over here doing my hip thrust because my bench moves so much. So I like to find a bench with a heavier base, and I also really like to think about an up and down movement to make sure that the bench is not sliding. All right, you guys, that completes today's video. That is my 8 gym mistakes that you can avoid with these tips. I'm just out here trying to save you guys some embarrassment. If you get embarrassed like me, girl, I'm here for you. I got you. I've already experienced that embarrassment, and now I'm gonna save you the embarrassment. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's a beautiful day to be alive and not to be embarrassed at the gym, okay? It's already intimidating enough. Even I still get gym intimidation. Listen, we all do. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, I will see you next time. It's a beautiful day to be alive. He's joking. Do you want to show them your new shirt? You gotta see this. You're gonna die. You're gonna LOL, laugh out loud. Okay, so 437 Swimwear sent Navy, Indy, and I a birthday gift for my birthday. How cute is this little sweatshirt from Neighboroo? It says, it's a beautiful day, crossed out the to be alive, and says, for a walk and for belly rubs. It is so cute. Are you kidding me? Hello? You're so stinking cute. I want to eat you for dinner tonight. Oh, that is so cute. We love you so much. You say goodbye? Okay.